Uncle Buck, am I going to die?
Here's the deal on death. It's just like falling asleep forever. Sweet dreams. What?
This isn't just any nanny. This is my brother. He's resourceful.
Yeah!
I wouldn't put your home or your kids at risk.
Look at me! I'm a ride!
Oh, hell no!
Get ready for the ride. I got this.
Buck, what are you doing?
The less you know, the better.
It is so nice to have you here. Thank you for coming.
This is so lovely. Thank you for having me.
So before we even talk about Uncle Buck, I warned you this was coming, so I'm going to open with this. When Lorenz Tate was here a couple of weeks ago, he said he is dreaming of doing a Love Jones sequel.
Oh my gosh, me too. He's so amazing. He's by far one of my most favorite leading guys. He's such a good actor, and the film is so special to both of us.
I think it was special to a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
But how would you see a sequel unfolding?
Ooh, well, it would be, what, 15 years later? There definitely have to be some kids involved. I don't know, maybe just exploring the realness of a relationship and family and the trials and the challenges and the beautiful parts of being in a relationship and having a family, but also there has to be a movie twist.
And hot sex.
Lots of that. I mean, that's a given.
The guy literally has not aged.
I know. It's freaky. He's like a unicorn? Can boys be unicorns?
No, I was like, do you bathe in unicorn tears? What is it?
I know. I keep
bust out with the whole,
and
like,
you know
I'm
what
a
the funny
vegan.
thing is he won't ever tell me how old he is. Like, I don't even know how old he is.
Do you like how we're talking about him? Like,
I hope he's watching.
I hope
now.
he is too.
I'm gonna have to figure that out. To be continued, guys.
And speaking of family and all its realness, let's talk about Uncle Buck.
Oh my gosh. This is the best group, you guys. It is the best. We had so much fun shooting this pilot. And, you know, I really wanted to go back to half hour because hour is amazing, but it's a grind. And you're there for, you know, I would never see my children if I did hour-long episodic, and so I really wanted to go back to half hour. I love the schedule, and who doesn't want to go to work and just laugh? So my wish came true. Will Packer called me, said, I have this project. Mike Epps is attached to star as Uncle Buck, and I immediately, of course, remembered the John Hughes film. And I was nervous, and I hadn't watched Uncle Buck since I was a child. I was a wee baby the last time I saw Uncle Buck. And so I went back after we shot all 8 episodes, and I thought, wow, you know, we have a different take, obviously. It's an African-American cast, but
Which, by the way, is amazing. Like, I think
it's amazing.
Wonderful that that's not the point of the show.
It's not. And the point of the show is family, the dynamics. Everyone sort of has that misfit uncle, cousin, mother sometimes, sorry guys, who you are a little bit trepidatious, you know, in terms of, are you going to leave your children with this person? What is their judgment like? And I think that's what our Uncle Buck, who he
Your
is
show
on the
literally is like, is it better to leave elementary schoolers alone for the weekend or have him watch the family?
Yeah, and I think
what is the
depending
lesser of two evils?
I know. And depending on the circumstance, I'm going to probably go with leaving them alone, but that would be a whole different show. So
that would end up with you being in jail.
Yes, yes, Alexis would be in jail.
Are you as type A as she is?
I am, and that's one of the things that we actually spoke about. Brian Bradley and Stephen Craig are the creators of the show. They come from Mad TV, and they are funny and open, and they really give us a lot of freedom to bring some of our own ideas and personality traits to these characters. And I am a little type A, but I think when you're a working mom, when you're a mom, period, you got to have a little type A in you because it just creates an environment that I think the kids can grow in confidence. And for me, organization is probably at the top of that list.
As it is for Alexis.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. Alexis is probably a little more intense, but Yeah.
Did being a mom in real life make it easier to create, I don't want to say fake family, or your screen family, to make it seem so real?
You know, I love children. I've always loved children.
God love you.
I mean, you don't.
I have a 5-year-old. It's
five-
a tough age.
Yeah, you just have to say, okay. Just say okay to everything. And then she'll come back to you and go, why is my mom not saying anything? My 4-year-old, because I have a 4-year-old, and he's very strong-willed. And so he comes up with these ideas, and some of them are a little dangerous. And I just go, okay, well, you let me know if you need help. And they usually will come right back around to you, but it's the minute you tell them no that they want to challenge you.
I'm actually going to try that. No, I have a boy.
You have a boy?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
No, I'm going to try that too, because I try reasoning, and we wind up in a circular argument that lasts an hour.
Well, come on. You've had a man to make that baby. You can't reason. We speak 2 different languages. And so do me and Uncle Buck. Alexis has a very specific way she wants things done, and he comes in and just wrecks shop.
You know what, though? In his defense, he got that kid to delete the selfie.
Well, here's the thing. I think that his approach is a bit unorthodox, but I also think there's something lovely about his sense of humor and his ability to be free and open. And it's really true. Like, we all, even the kids are so professional, so smart, and never, ever do they go up on their lines. They make
Otherwise,
us look bad.
Alexis will put them in time out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
And I do treat them like my own babies. You know, it's a working relationship, but I try to, like, ask them about school and boys, and, you know, it's fun. These are my bonus babies.
I saw on Twitter, that's what you call them. That's awesome. And by the way,
bonus babies.
let me just say, it is so nice to see you back on TV.
Oh my gosh.
It really is.
Thank you.
In a show this sweet and this funny.
And it's challenging. Comedy is not easy. You know, part of me, I was like, oh, half hour, what do I see for myself next? And the last time I was on a half-hour show was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and that was a very, yay! That was a very different show because it was 3 cameras. So we shoot this with a single camera, but we always have sort of another camera floating around. But it does feel like the approach is more like a feature. But it's still quick and funny, and you have to be on your toes. And sometimes, you know, they'll scream lines off to you off of the side of the set, and then you're like, wait, what? And then you have to, like, compose yourself and deliver the line as if you knew it for weeks. So it's
and good. Let it be said, as a cat owner, that you were in one of my favorite movies of the year, Keanu.
Meow.
Meow. it's been a really nice year for you, and you got engaged, so congratulations.
Got engaged. Yes. Yeah, it's been a fun year. Keanu was, first of all, when I got the script and they said it was about a cat, I said, well, now, what is this? How is this gonna work? And I didn't know who Key and Peele were for quite some time, and I have a 15-year-old, so he's like, Mommy, you've got to see who these guys are. So like 4 years ago, I figured out who Key and Peele are, which is so sad. I shouldn't be saying this in front of the entire world, but I met them and I read the script and I thought it was funny. And those are just two guys that I really respect. I respect their work. They're brilliant. They're smart. I mean, they're so dynamic, and to be a part of anything, big or small, I just wanted to be a part of it. Plus, it made me a really cool mom to say that I was in a movie
because
with
he got to meet.
Yeah.
And not to mention that the cat looked like none of the cats looked anything alike. Like
you noticed that?
That was the best part. That it literally they
good.
switched from one cat to the next.
Well,
with
yeah,
no continuity.
Cats are like 4-year-olds. They don't really listen. You just have to say, "Go ahead, yes." Yeah.
And before we go to the audience, I want to point out that this is the 20-year anniversary of one of the best films, in my opinion, one of the most impactful films ever made, Boys in the Hood. And this lady played Brandy. Brandy with an I.
Last week we did a Q&A at the Academy, and I was just like, my whole entire career just flashed right before my eyes, and it feels like yesterday that I was Brandy in that Catholic school uniform running across the street to say that Ricky got shot. And I grew up in that neighborhood, so that film is so close to my heart and really close to my experience as a young girl growing up in South Central Los Angeles. And I'm just thankful because I think that film educated the world. I think that the women and children and boys and teenagers that grow in that neighborhood, that live in that neighborhood to this day, didn't really have a voice. And Boys in the Hood shook things up and made people realize that there are young children living in these inner cities that are faced with gang violence, police brutality, all of the themes that we're actually dealing with right now. If you go back and watch Boys in the Hood,
it was the first of its kind.
There. It's the first of its kind.
Not to mention Regina King.
Oh my gosh.
Chestnut.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I rewatched it again and I was like, all of these careers got made.
I know. I told John Singleton, I said, you not only are you a great filmmaker, but he has the ability to pinpoint and identify actors that are just a little bit extraordinary. And I'm not saying that about myself. I'm saying that about the people in the film and the longevity and the careers that were launched from that film. So it's amazing.
And I bet when we were saying backstage, when you were making it, you had no idea, did you?
Oh my gosh, I was just trying to keep up. I was like, okay, wait, where do you want me to be? Okay. Okay. Yeah, it was my first experience. John was 22 years old when we made that film. I think I turned 22 or 20 when we made that film. I remember having a birthday on set, and they brought me this big cake, and I remember Ice Cube still had a Jerry curl. I mean, it was a long time ago, but it feels like yesterday. And I'm just gonna say this, when you think about John Hughes as a filmmaker, there was something about all of his films that were very, and still are, very tangible and relevant and grounded and about real people. Those are the types of films I like to be a part of. That is what we did with Uncle Buck, hopefully. I hope everyone receives that. John Singleton did the same thing with Boys in the Hood. He created a world that is a real world, but everybody was able to relate to those characters. And if you weren't able to relate to the characters, you had enough compassion in your heart after watching the project to want to open your heart up to people that live in circumstances that are not as fruitful, would be the word I would choose.
And before we go to the audience, I do want to ask you, with a show like this that can veer into, I mean, a lot, sitcoms, it's very easy to veer into absurdity. How do you guys keep it grounded?
I think that starts with the writing. I trust our team. We have a great team. Will Packer is our executive producer. Anything he puts his name on turns into gold. And I saw Roots, and I was just blown away. And I was a skeptic. I was like, why would you want to remake this movie? But I actually loved it and thought it was amazing. So I trust my team, and I think if I didn't know my team as well as I know them, maybe I'd be a bit more worried. But, I don't think we're going to... Listen, I don't do anything with the intention or the thought in my mind of failure. So whatever's necessary to keep it relevant, to keep the storylines fresh and great, I'm going to try to go for that. I'm a hard worker. It's like, I tell people all the time, actors are in the service business. We're here to service directors and producers and networks. We need our team glam. Thank God for them. It took me 5 hours to get ready today. But, we all need each other. And so I think if you have a group that's collaborative and open and supportive of the objective, then you just keep grinding.
And you keep the storylines fresh, like even the pilot.
Oh, my gosh. And you know how many stories there are with kids? Oh, my gosh. I have so many stories.
Feel free to steal this one when my kid threw the cat in the toilet.
Oh my gosh. I remember when my son was little, we had a guinea pig. We were living in New York. And I hate any type of rodent. I mean, that's the thing that will make me cry. But I thought, I'll get over my fear. I'll give my son what I want. He was 2 at the time. We lived on 39th Street between 1st and 2nd Avenue on the 39th floor. The sun was shining bright in our apartment. And I was taking a shower. And I told my little one, I said, go put your sunscreen on. I'll be right back. I walk in, and the guinea pig is saturated in sunscreen. And I was like, oh my, what did you do to the guinea pig? He thought that the guinea pig needed protection from the sun as well. So I don't know what happened. So then we moved back to LA, and I gave the guinea pig to the preschool. And to this day, I wonder, did the guinea pig really survive the sunscreen thing? That's a good episode for Uncle Buck.
That's a
so
great
if you guys
episode.
see it, just know that I wrote that one.
And now to our audience, please.
Hi, Nia.
Hi.
You are truly iconic, not only in Black cinema, but also in hip-hop culture.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, I've been hearing your name in bars for the past 20 years. And I see why. You're absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
What are your best practices in health and wellness, and what are some of your beauty secrets that you care to tell, other than water?
I know, because everyone uses that. Water is a big part, but I would say diet, exercise. But honestly, you have to get to a place, and I'm still every day working on getting to that place, staying to that in that place. But where emotionally and physically and mentally you are at peace and you're at one. Because I think if your mind is someplace, your heart is another place, and your body is, at McDonald's, it's just not going to work. You really want to define yourself for yourself and live in your truth. And once you do that, there's a sense of peace that is so overwhelmingly beautiful that you're not really worried if you have a pimple, because it's going to go away. But that spiritual work is necessary. And because we change every day. So as you change, your practices have to change.
And let me just say, having kids definitely keeps you, you can finish that sentence for me.
Well, it can either be crazy or having kids keeps you on your toes, because I know that I'm setting an example for 2 men, young boys that are going to one day be men, and I want them to, obviously have a family and pick a strong woman, but also to respect a woman who has strength, and to be loving and kind, but, still an individual, and to not be male chauvinistic, and to understand that we can interchange roles as men and women at any given moment. I think that's really important for young men.
To care enough to put sunscreen on your damn pets.
Yes. Keep the sunscreen handy.
Next question, please.
Hey, Nia, I'm excited to check this out tonight. If there was work anywhere in the world besides New York and California, where would you live?
Ooh, I don't know. I often imagine myself like in Italy, you know, just in Sicily, just kind of hanging out, and the wind is blowing through my hair, and some really hot Italian guy is like, ooh, where'd the sister come from? And I'm like, I'm right here. I don't know.
You just took me to Under the Tuscan Sun.
Right? That's exactly what I was visualizing in my head.
Hi, Nia.
Hi.
So I'm currently studying acting here in Manhattan. So
Nice.
my question is, what's the difference in preparing for a role, comedy versus drama?
I think it depends on the actor, but for me personally, drama is a little bit easier for me in terms of the prep. Mostly because I like to look at myself as a vessel, right? And so you have the choice to close the door of your vessel or keep it open, right? And if you keep it open, that's usually where all the power is. So if you walk around with your vessel open, then you are going to have the ability to tap into any emotion at any given time. So with drama, those emotions are usually a bit more extreme. I think with comedy, you have to contain them and kind of find that space to find your funny, because your funny is not going to be my funny. So it's not like you can go and watch someone and go, ooh, I'm going to tell my joke that way. I had to find my funny with Alexis, and I didn't want to be like, what are you guys? I didn't want to be like angry mom or, you know, rolling my eyes all the time. So part of it was being a little naive. I play her a little naive. Part of it was, you know, the A-type personality, which can often be funny because there's so many things you can explore. So I would definitely say drama's easier for me. Definitely, because Alexis is a little complicated. And like when you're angry in a comedy, it's not the same anger as in a drama, so you have to really find those levels. Whereas when you're angry in a drama, it's usually explosive, right? Or passive-aggressive angry. I think here's the simpler answer, which I probably should have just said from the beginning. Find your funny, find your drama, and explore the levels, and that's what makes a dynamic character.
And over here, please.
Hey, Nia.
Hey, Lady in Pink.
The Best Man Holiday. Amazing. I wanted to know, what was it like being back on set, and were you surprised at how well received it was in theaters?
First of all, that crew, we're like family. You know, we really are family. We love each other, and we had so much fun making the first one, and it was just like, in between takes, we were laughing, talking, sometimes taking tequila shots. Don't tell anybody, but those long dinners when we had to film those, I think Sanaa's gonna kill me, but I think we were like, let's just have shots. And we'd start having shots, which would make it much easier to film. We're really like family, and I love everyone that was a part of that project. We keep in touch with one another, and the greatest thing is when you can turn on the television or go to the movies and see your friend up there and know that you kind of all started together. It's a great feeling. Yeah.
And we have time for one final question, please.
Hello, Nia.
Hi.
I have two separate questions. So my
Yes.
first question is, did Mike Epps ever throw you off guard when you were filming the show?
Always.
And
Every
my
day.
And my second question is, this is about the Kanye West video when you made a cameo.
Uh-huh.
How was it like working with Kanye West?
He was very normal. I don't know who this other person is out there in the world. I mean, I love Kanye. I think he's a genius, but like he definitely changed. I mean, I hope that's not bad. But
No, I think that's pretty much. I think that's, you know.
yeah, I feel like
I think you're stating the obvious.
I'm
yes.
like, dude, just go back to Touch the Sky. You were good in that space.
And when can we watch Uncle Buck?
Uncle Buck airs tonight at
ABC.
9 p.m. on ABC. Make sure you watch.
Thank you so much.